All right, everybody. Y'all know who it is, Metro Meta, and
At one Marcus Flowers.
we'd like to thank you for watching and listening to our content. We'd like to thank you even more if you leave a like, a comment.
Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. We need that. Subscription.
Hey, don't forget to share with all your friends and tell us how you feel.
And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that you got it from 26 and Glencoe Media Network.
Keep it real.
I am Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka Call Me What You Want, just don't call me lazy. It is the third month of the year, which means it is time for March Madness. Over at 26 and Glencoe, that means a podcast a day, every day for the month of March. Let's get it, and I hope you enjoy.
Welcome back. We are here for another edition of the Super Flow Bros Podcast, Volume 3, Episode 25. I am your host, Marcus Flowers, a.k.a. Flo, a.k.a. Call Me What You Want, just don't call me lazy, and I am joined by...
Y'all know who it is, Metro Meta, he who shall not be named, he who stands above all others is good to be here.
Alright, and before we really get started, I have to ask you the serious question about this coronavirus. This will actually be a coronavirus themed podcast. So, actually, you're going to play a game if you're listening. Every time you hear the word coronavirus or COVID-19, take a shot. Make sure you do it too and see how messed up you are. But let's get to the serious issues at the matter here. Morgan, what is...
Very serious.
What is your go-to ginger ale? So, when you're battling the elements of the coronavirus, what is your go-to to defeat the ailing elements?
Vernors.
So I stocked on Vernors and Canada Dry. So yeah, and I have been taking emergency and vitamin D3 every day. So hopefully, I am good. And actually, yesterday it was one of my friend's birthdays, and it was only like 5 of us, which is under the limit, isn't it? Like the 15, it's 15 minutes. It's 15 people maximum. But I posted a picture, and I said something like, yo, not afraid of the coronavirus. My grandparents' prayers are still working. And somebody was like, well, don't hang out with them afterwards. And I said, I can't. They're both dead. And then they replied, Jesus. And that was it. So, I feel like probably if you don't know, you should probably just stay out of people's way if you don't know them, because everybody deals with like pandemonium and pandemics differently. And I will say it's just like we've never been in a type of situation like this before.
Yeah, it's mad crazy. Like, I tried to go get food today to stock on my fridge before realizing I don't know how to cook and I don't have anything to cook with. And I was just looking at the store, and like all the meat's gone, toilet paper's gone. I'm gonna need some soon. I'm quite upset about that, y'all.
Did you actually
everything's gone?
Did you see that there was a woman and a daughter, and they jumped this other lady for toilet paper because they were mad that she reached in her cart and got a bag and was like, yo, I just need one ply of toilet paper, and they took it and was like, nah, you can't have it. And it was a whole commotion. Like, have you been seeing those videos?
Yeah, man, it's real out here in these streets, okay?
Right. I see.
They shutting everything down.
Too real for me. Yeah, they already quarantined my office, so I can't go back for the time being. So I'm gonna be at home. But oh no. Okay. let's jump right in. I put this at the top because I hope you listen to it. Donald Glover, Childish Gambino released a new collection of music. Have you listened to it? Morgan, have you listened to Donald Glover's new album music?
I wanted to, but then I found out it was only on loop on his website, and I was like, I don't want to do that, and so I stopped. I'll wait till it comes out on like a streaming service, and I can go song by song.
Wait, so it's on loop on his website? That's the only way you can listen to it?
Yeah, it's on his website.
So if I'm going to look right now. I cannot believe this. So I'm going onto one of the streaming platforms I pay for.
Wow. The only song I think you can listen to outside of his website is "Feels Like Summer" because that was a single that dropped like a couple of years ago.
Okay. Well, I have not listened to the Donald Glover track. I probably never will. I'm not a big fan of his, but hey, more power to you if you want to sit through his website and listen to it.
If he puts it on streaming platforms, I'll listen to it.
Right. Moving on, the rest of this, minus the last item, is all coronavirus related. So, the Batman movie stops production for 2 weeks.
Didn't every production stop for now? Because, I know Disney canceled all their productions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Disney and I think all the big companies have canceled their productions, but Warner Brothers halts the Batman production because of the coronavirus. They put out a statement. Warner Brothers Pictures features production of the Batman will be on a 2-week hiatus starting today. The studio will continue to monitor the situation closely, the company said in a statement. Production of the superhero flick began in London in January, but was about to change locations to Liverpool. The studio also hosted the filming of Elvis Presley. Oh, nobody won't care about that. But yeah, have you been watching like the leaks, the different leaks, such as the costume and the Batmobile?
Yeah, I'm getting mad Joker vibes. In that, not that it's going to be like the Joker movie, but in that I feel like it's going to have the same, like fandom around it as the Joker movie.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, come on. Taking the gun that killed your parents to make the bat signal, that's like middle school edgy right there.
So I don't much care about that. I will say that, just my expectations for a Batman film will be extremely low from what we've got. I don't think we've ever gotten a good Batman film.
What are you talking about?
That's true to like the comic book origin. Like, what was the best Batman film?
The Dark Knight trilogy?
No, and that wasn't even like a Batman film. That was basically a rogue cop cosplaying as Batman. Like, I don't really consider that like a real.
He was pretty Batman. What about him wasn't Batman?
Well, he wasn't. Okay. His whole like I don't kill blah blah blah, but making sure. Like, I don't know. He just didn't feel like, and especially like reading the Batman comics, he didn't feel like Batman to me.
Nah, that was the Batman film.
I would say more of Batman as a cop cosplaying as a man in a bat suit. But moving on, Nike closes all stores. So if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of just sneaker culture and buying sneakers, and Nike is closing all of its stores in the US because of the coronavirus outbreak, and I will say a few of the sneakers I have been looking forward to purchasing this year, I have not been able to purchase because there's been like delays and hiatuses and drawbacks, like such as like the pair of sneakers that were supposed to release on my birthday, not on my birthday, on my birthday weekend were the Flint 13s, and those were actually the first Jordan sneaker I ever remember buying. I didn't buy it, my uncle bought it for me. So I always wanted to get another pair of those, but like now those are on hiatus, and then date has been pushed back. And now with even now with like the I don't want to say with the coronavirus, of course they're gonna be shipping from like overseas, and you have to like check and sanitize and do all that. So that's just like another added level of stress that you necessarily would never have to worry about.
Yeah. Sorry about your shoes, man.
It's cool. Life goes on, and so do we.
To be fair, I did. I finally wore the PlayStations.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I wore them to school on my birthday.
Oh, nice! You finally wore them. If you
Mm-hmm.
guys don't know what he's talking about, I bought my brother a pair of the Paul George PlayStation 2s. So, what'd your kids say when you saw them? When they saw you in them, were they surprised, or did they
Oh, they
not?
loved them. They glowed. Oh, they loved them. I use that as a behavior tool.
Oh, so you wear them every day now.
No, I ain't gonna wear them every
So how
day.
did you use it as a behavior tool if you just wore it one time?
I told the kid. I told the kids if they behave, then one day I'll bring the shoes, and when they behave, I'll bring the shoes. I mean, not now since like school's canceled, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay. More coronavirus news. Box office plunges to a new low amid coronavirus. Um, I will say this is partly coronavirus and partly just the way the industry is heading with the great content that Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus has all put out. Of course, and with the improvement of technology with like our advanced televisions and whatnot. This is just like this does not surprise me. But box office plunges to lowest level in over two decades amid the coronavirus. Oh no! All right. Much of public life in the United States essentially grounded to a halt this week. In the entertainment world, theme parks shut down, Broadway went dark, studios pulled major tentpoles, and TV shows halted production as coronavirus continues to spread across North America. Ticket sales in North America hit their lowest levels in more than 2 decades, generally roughly 55.3 million between Friday and Saturday. Box office numbers have not been this low since September 15th to 17th weekend in 2000, when movie theaters brought in 54.5 million from holdovers, including the Keanu Reeves psychological thriller The Watcher, Bait with Jamie Foxx, and the cheerleading classic Bring It On. Receipts dropped
But
45.
see, like, what movies were out this weekend that you were gonna watch? Like, the only one I wanted to watch was like The Outer Worlds or whatever that one was, and even then I wasn't feeling it. Outer World, Onward, yeah, Onward.
There was a movie that Ryan Reynolds was in. It was like a basketball film. I wanted to see that, but yeah, no, I wasn't too surprised with this, and I will say I don't think that the theaters are going to recover this year, just because there isn't really any big blockbuster movies. Like there's no Star Wars. There's Black Widow for Marvel. But I don't see any true blockbusters.
When is Mulan coming out? I feel like that's coming out this month.
Mulan got pushed
Mulan.
back. Mulan got pushed back. Furious, the Fate of the Furious got pushed back a whole year. So we'll see. But yeah, no, it's a lot. And next, moving on, we're off of coronavirus news. Rapper Jay Electronica finally releases his debut album, and
I just listened to the Joe Budden podcast talk about this.
yeah.
I have no idea who this guy is.
So Jay Electronica, if you guys didn't know, he dropped a track. I want to say 10. Let me look it up for you. I don't want to give y'all. So Exhibit C dropped in 2009, and it was people hail it as like a really great hip hop song, but I've like going back and actually listening to it, I wasn't that impressed by it. Like, it was good what Jay Electronica was doing, but he really wasn't. I don't know, like that. It didn't scream like I'm the best rapper to me. But yeah, no, it's it was just weird that we finally got it, and it was only 10 tracks, and a lot of them were with Jay-Z, who loves Jay Electronica, and Jay-Z really laps around Jay Electronica, and for that to be your first album, I wasn't quite impressed with it, just because that was his first album. That was his first body of work.
There's no way if I'm making an album, like essentially if it's supposed to be like my first album in a while, I'm teaming up with Jay-Z.
And
I mean, that man's like, how old is Jay-Z at this point?
Jay-Z just turned 50, but he's still I want to say he's actually...
He turned 50 and he can still out-rap most of the game. Like, I'm not messing with that. Well, you don't want that on your track.
And the thing is, I think Jay Electronica was trying to go for like a Watch the Throne type of feel, but when you put a person who is motivated and who like acknowledges you as a peer on their level, and you just like aren't there, and you just can't keep up with them, it shows. Now I think that's what this album did. It really showed that Jay Electronica was out of his league on this. Like, he couldn't keep up, and that's a really bad precedent that it sets for the rest of his career, if he has one. And even he made a line in one of his songs, and he was like, "I don't release music because y'all are just gonna talk about me." And it's like, duh, of course we're gonna talk about you. That's what music is. People are there to critique you. So for you to not have the type of, I don't want to call it the nerves to actually put yourself out there, how can we as fans really respect you like that?
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how this will develop. I heard a lot of hype about this album. I haven't listened to it because I listened to the same 5 songs over and over, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on to the living room. Marcus, I'm gonna take this one because you want to know what? I am one of the many, many people who has spent my entire life preparing to be ready for quarantine.
Okay.
Oh, I'm ready. Because,
all right,
as you know, Marcus, I am a avid introvert. And this is basically my dream. When I look back in my life and I remember this, I'm going to be the only person being like, this was probably one of the best times of my life. So if you are out here in these streets and you quarantined, get out the streets. And then I want you to sit in your house. I'm going to give you your 5-step plan for this quarantine. Number 1, you always got to have something to do. Number 2, get your work done. Wake up at 8 o'clock. Do whatever work you need to do. And then spend your day the way you want to spend your day. Read a book. Watch some anime. There's tons of lists out there. Netflix got everything out there. And better yet, everybody should be working on their backlog. Alright, your backlog TV shows, your backlog movies, your backlog games, all those things you want to watch but haven't had time. This is your time right now. This is what you need to be doing. Don't think of this as quarantine. Think of this as creative time because it's probably the best time of your life. Also, wash your hands and your phone. Anything else to add, Marcus?
No. Make sure you are walking around and actually going outside and getting fresh air. But
Nah, fresh air might have corona in it. Walk around your house.
I mean, by this point, everybody has corona on them, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, just stay healthy. So if you're working remote for the next month or few weeks or so, the United States internet infrastructure can handle increased demands according to experts. So throughout the years, of course, you've seen like Xfinity, you have like Comcast, you have like Time Warner, you have your like cable companies preparing for like 5G and like the best broadband in this land, and now you're finally going to see it being put to the test when it comes to this virus. And let me just read part of this. The core of the network is massively over provisionized. Paul Vixie, CEO of Farsight Security and Infrastructure, it has developed over time to handle the bandwidth demanding services like Netflix and YouTube, and it should have no problem handling the increase in demand to many people staying at home. And I will say, added to that, Morgan, have you seen how what is it, the FCC? Yeah, how the FCC will not, they have gotten the large companies to agree to not shut off service for customers for the next 60 days, I think, because of the coronavirus.
I mean, yeah, they got rid of data caps, which they never needed, and was just them charging you extra money for nothing.
Right. So yeah, no, I think this is I think sometimes tragedy causes us to go towards the right direction.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that everything that we probably needed and have been asking for the past couple of years, we're now getting because everybody is sick.
Yeah, no, for sure. In non-coronavirus news, Tesla finally has produced 1 million cars. Morgan, I know your next car is going to be a Tesla, so I just put this out there. But
well, if I get the money, let's be real out here.
But you'll get it. Let me see here. Data caps. Why? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now 12 years later, Tesla has come a long way. The company CEO Elon Musk announced on Twitter that Tesla has produced its 1 millionth car. He accompanied the tweet with a group photo of Tesla employees celebrating the occasion. And if you follow Elon Musk on Twitter, he says, "Congratulations, Tesla team, on making our 1 millionth car." The car in question, at least according to the photo Musk shared, is a red Tesla Model Y, the company's fifth model, after the Roadster, Model X, Model S, and Model 3. The Model Y, a crossover electric SUV that can currently be ordered for $52,000 and up, should be reaching first buyers later this month. This milestone is a huge achievement for Tesla. There's a time, especially during the Model 3 production ramp up in 2018, when even Musk seemed uncertain whether the company will make it. So yeah, that's just a little non-COVID-19 news. But
very nice.
We're cooking in the kitchen now. All sports
and
are
canceled. I know this is something that hurts you, Marcus. I know you're hurting.
This has probably been just the worst start of a decade ever. I will say we have Kobe dying, March Madness being suspended, NBA being suspended, MLB being suspended, NFL pushing back the dates, soccer stopping. It has been it's been a very surreal time, and it's weird because the last tragedy that actually happened was 9/11, and it was sports that got us through. It was baseball, and it was the NFL, and it was baseball. It was the NFL that really did their thing. So yeah, it's just been a very surreal experience. But other than that, yeah, it's been. I've noticed how just how boring my life has been. So yeah. So
Yeah, how does it feel to, not have sports anymore?
I've been able to do more just more stuff that I really wanted to do. I've been able to read more,
All
stuff like that. But other than that, it's cool.
right. Marcus, there there's a whole wide world of anime out there that isn't getting canceled. So if you wanna,
Right. No, I actually started Demon Slayer. So that's been pretty fun to watch.
have you watched any sports anime?
No, I haven't.
There's a few good ones. Send me a text and I can get you a list because there's a lot of good sports anime.
Okay, very cool. I will do that. Next in the dining room, just real quick, the coronavirus pandemic. So basically, the whole country needs to be shut down. Many people have already did that with the cancellation. I don't know how it is in North Carolina, Morgan, but in Colorado they have canceled events larger than 250 people. So that's sporting events, concerts, religious gatherings, anything like that. They canceled in Colorado. They canceled the high school basketball tournament, which kind of sucks because some of those seniors won't really get to play again. Um, the last big concert that they threw was for Post Malone.
How sad.
I mean, he's a popular guy. People like him, but I also say people need to like only take what they need. First of all, why are people stealing or buying toilet paper? Do they plan on catching diarrhea during this? That was because I just have not understood that. Like, I don't get the need for toilet paper during.
I think it's about controlling your environment. Like it's one of the few things. Like when you talk not philosoph psychologically speaking, when you're talking about the human mind, one
Right.
of the first things that you control is your bowel movements. And so I think this is just a correlation of people going, this is the one thing I can control, and I need to control it.
I don't get the hoarding of toilet paper because it makes no
But
sense.
it's also like a domino effect. Like if one person thinks I need to hoard toilet paper, and he starts hoarding toilet paper, everybody else says, "Well, I need toilet paper too. I better grab it." And so it's just a domino effect. It's sort of like the idea is we're not in a shortage of toilet paper, but because everybody thinks we're in a shortage of toilet paper, they buy it all up, and that makes us in a shortage of toilet paper.
Yeah, I will say, have you been seeing the memes where like people go to the water aisle and all that's left is Dasani?
Mm-hmm.
So that actually happened to me. I was in Walmart and I was like, you know what? Let me just get a pack of water while I'm here. And I went to the aisle, and the only water that they have left was Dasani, and I hate Dasani. It's like the most disgusting water ever. But I was like, dang, this is all they have left? And there was literally no other bottle companies with water available. Even like the expensive, like the smart waters were gone. And I was like, wow, this is nuts. So I just got the Dasani pack and called it a day. But also, social distancing. You talked about what you need to do, but I also feel like people need to have self control as well and be able to like put yourself away from other people. Like don't go out if you don't have to, and just stuff like that.
Yeah, stay home. Just stay home.
Oh, and wash your hands like that. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I have noticed. People just don't wash their hands, which is why they're getting sick. And I'm just like, maybe if y'all would just wash your hands more, you wouldn't be out here catching the Rona and getting sick. And even like one of the things, have you been following a 21 Savage?
Nah.
So he thinks he has the coronavirus, but he didn't social distance himself because he said he went to a club 2 days ago or something, and he was like, I was in a club with like 70 people, and I was like, dang, how did I get it? How did I get it instead of these other broke people and they didn't get it? Why should I have it? And so I thought that was funny, but it just shows even most of us can catch it.
Yeah, viruses are viruses. Anybody can catch the smoke.
Yep, and I do think Donald Trump has it, even though he said he tested it and the White House said he doesn't have it. They've lied to us before, so I do think he has it. And one thing that's also, I think people need to be just more kind to people during these times. Like, everybody's like panicking, but I feel like in the midst of the storm, you need to have peace. So it's just like, if you can provide that peace to anybody, just like make sure to help somebody out, take out their trash, just help people out. Just make sure that they're good.
Yep. Anyway, grand opening, grand closing is you.
Yeah. So you talked about it earlier about what to do during the pandemic. So I am going to talk about not what to do, just like how to like adjust, like, I don't want to say your life, but like your expectations. A lot of people are saying, oh, 2 to 3 weeks. Well, I think maybe we have to come to the reality that it may be longer than 2 weeks. It may be 3 weeks. It's going to be 6 months until they have a vaccine. Make sure you're healthy. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're hydrating yourself. I will say that it's just very important that even though this is a crisis, your life still matters, and you don't want to lose it carelessly because you weren't social distancing yourself. I don't know if you saw this, Morgan, but there was like a bar downtown in like downtown Nashville, and it was like a crowded bar, and people were like dancing and having a good time. And there's some like college students who said, "Hey, I know I'm gonna probably get it, but I'm good because I'm 21 and blah blah blah." I don't want people to take their life for granted. Be smart, move smart. Make sure you're staying inside. Avoid the gym. Avoid gatherings of like more than a few people. Make sure the people who you interact with are the people you're closest with. Don't have like people over. Don't go to people's houses because you're bored. FaceTime them. Do all that. That's basically it. But that's it for me. Thank you for listening. Once again, I am your host at One Marcus Flowers, aka Flo. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms at One Marcus Flowers. Follow Morgan on all social media platforms at MetroMeta26. Follow us on Twitter at 26 and Glencoe. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at 26 and Glencoe. Follow us on YouTube at the 26 and Glencoe Media Network. The links to all of that will be in the description. Leave a 5-star review. We need that. And until next time, peace and be safe. Be safe out here. I hope if you did our take a shot every time you hear coronavirus, you are still alive. Peace and blessings to you and your family. And until next time, peace.
See ya.
All right.
I am Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka call me what you want, just don't call me lazy. It is the third month of the year, which means it is time for March Madness. Over at 26th and Glencoe, that means a podcast a day, every day for the month of March. Let's get it, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, everybody. Y'all know who it is, Metro Meta and
At one Marcus Flowers.
And we'd like to thank you for watching and listening to our content. We'd like to thank you even more if you, leave a like, a comment.
Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. We need that. Subscribe. Subscription.
Hey, don't forget to share with all your friends and tell us how you feel.
And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that you got it from 26 and Glencoe Media Network.
Keep it real.